Hi everybody, Dan Illman here, kicking off a 50-cent pick 4 at Gulfstream Park on Saturday with graded stakes action. Race number 8 is the Suwannee River. Fillies and mares going a mile on the turf. It's a grade 3, and let's take a look at this field. It looks like a pretty competitive bunch on paper. You've got some horses in here that have run some big races, and they're fairly consistent as well. Now they need to prove it, stepping up in class a bit. A horse like the number 1 Saffron Moon faced a runaway last time out for trainer Chad Brown and figures to take some money. This horse has some tactical speed. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector. While Saffron Moon was up close to the pace last time out, I think she's just as effective from off of the pace, and that's where Timeform US has her. The 6 Accomplished Girl, if she runs in this race, is the likely pace setter. She's stretching out, switching surfaces. She simply has sprint speed. If she opts out of it, expect the 5 Tequilera to make the running, and she did rate from just off the pace last time out, but having watched her at Laurel Park and several of her races, she seems like a free-running type that can make the lead, especially if no one else wants it. The 9 Fastest Flight, the 8 Sister Luann, these are horses that are also tactical. I think this pace is going to be fair, not slow, not fast. It should get everybody a chance as long as they get the right trip. Saffron Moon is the number 1 for Chad Brown, and this horse scored 2 starts back at Keeneland, going a mile and a 16th from off the pace. Last time out, they ran her in the grade 3 Cardinal at Churchill Downs, and she didn't break very well from the outside post in that slow field, and then she was sort of 3 wide all the way around the track. She made a strong bid turning into the stretch, but the winner of that race, a North American import racing here for the first time, just destroyed that field, ran away and hid by 10 lengths. Saffron Moon was game to run second, and the 3rd place horse at least validated her performance by coming back and winning a stake at the fairgrounds with an 86 Beyer speed figure. Saffron Moon draws a comfortable inside post position and should save valuable ground under Tyler Gaffalione. Looks like a very logical contender. The 2 is Polka Mucha, who ran second last time out at Kentucky Downs. And we're going to take a look at that race. I thought Polka Mucha ran pretty well considering the quality of competition she was in against. The winner of that race was Odds On Lindy, who had come back to run second in the Grade 1 Queen Elizabeth Challenge Cup at Keeneland with a 99 Beyer speed figure. Polka Mucha runs very, very well to be second. She's been in consistent form, hitting the board in her last 3 starts for Bill Mott, but she's sort of been stuck at that 3rd level allowance condition for a while and is now going to have to step up in class. She's another one that's pretty tactical, and she should be a good price for solid connections. The 3 is Walkathon, and she was on the lead last time out in the Cardinal when no match for that runaway winner, and finishing behind Saffron Moon. It looked like she set some legitimate fractions over that wet turf course, and she got a bit tired in the stretch. I wonder if Joe Bravo is going to try to replicate those tactics here. I think if Walkathon wants to get to the lead and Accomplished Girl scratches, maybe he can do so, but it's worth noting that Walkathon has done well from slightly off of the pace, and maybe that's the trip Joe's going to opt for here for trainer Ian Wilkes. This horse has run some solid Beyer speed figures in the past, earned a graded stakes win in the Regret in 2022, and I wonder if this horse is just slowly racing herself back into shape. This will be her 4th start off of a lengthy layoff. Full Count Felicia, number 4, goes out for Maryland's leading trainer Brittany Russell. This horse was so impressive, winning the All Along at Pimlico 2 starts back. It was not a strong field, but Full Count Felicia made that field pay from the start, showing them her heels, running off, hiding, and that earned her a spot in a graded stakes race at Santa Anita, the Goldacova, and she ran okay that day, finishing 4th at 5-2 against a pretty good field. I think from a class standpoint, Full Count Felicia fits well, and she has a very strong turn of foot. I think this time Arad Ortiz is going to settle her back and try to make a nice move on the 2nd turn from the 2nd flight or so. She's shown some ability, another horse that needs to prove it from a class standpoint, but I think last time out she showed she can hang with this caliber of competition. Tequilera's up next. Let's watch her last race. 2nd level allowance at Laurel. Going a mile and a 16th. She let another speed go in this race, and that's something she's learned to do in her last couple of races. Earlier in Tequilera's career, she was a horse that showed a lot of speed and maybe just expended too much energy in the early portion of her races. She's learned to settle in her last 2 starts, and I think that's really helped her, and I think it could help her in this spot because whether she makes the lead or whether she sits second, she's shown she's not speed crazy anymore and can save something for the end. Michael Matt Strains, it is a step up in class. She'll need a Beyer boost. Accomplished Girl, if she runs in this race, she's cross-entered at at Gulfstream Park on Sunday looms the speed off of a victory in the Presque Isle Downs Masters last time out. She got a beautiful ride from Edgard Zayas that day. There just wasn't a lot of pace in the race. An accomplished girl got away with an easy lead, going the opening quarter mile, and after that she placed everybody else in chase mode. An accomplished girl sprinted to the wire first. The fourth place finisher came back, placed in a grade 3 at Woodbine with a 90 buyer, then won a grade 2 there with a 91 buyer. Turf is okay for accomplished girl. I think that's quite all right for her. I think she's just as accomplished on the grass as she is on the synthetic, but it's all about distance and how far she wants to go. Wallachia is the number 7. She ran 4th last time out. I think that race was a little bit better than it looks because I thought she had a little bit of traffic that day. When I watch Wallachia, I kind of see a filly that needed some time to kind of figure this game out, and I think it's slowly coming together for Wallachia. 3rd in the All Along, 2 starts back against Full Count Felicia. That race, Full Count Felicia just got to the lead and was too much for Wallachia. I think she's slowly improved in her last couple of races. If this pace heats up, expect Wallachia and John Velasquez to come with a strong late bid. Sister Luann is the number 8. She was 2nd last time out at Gulfstream. We're going to watch that race contested over there to Pizza Surface at 1 mile and 70 yards. She got right up close to the pace under Jose Ortiz, and she finishes an okay 2nd. I think it's worth noting when you go back and watch this replay in your formulator past performances, she didn't break well from the start and then had to kind of be used to get into position, and maybe that took the starch out of her. She proved her mettle on grass. 3 starts back at Kentucky Downs when winning the One Dreamer Stakes over that demanding course with a 92 buyer speed figure. Occasionally, Sister Luann pops a pretty big race, and she has the tactical speed to get close to the pace. She should be right there when the field turns for home. Fastest Flight was a stakes winner 2 starts back over heavy ground at Ellis Park. That was over the summer meet, and race where she got close to the pace, and the pace was not fast. I know the ground was testing, but they still went almost 50 seconds to the half mile, and Fastest Flight took advantage of that pace. Her most recent start was her first start off about a 5-month layoff. I think she needed that race. She was in against Sister Luann. She sort of was wide all the way around the track. I think that race gave her a lot of fitness, and I also think she's a better horse on the turf than she is on synthetic. If you're looking for a horse at a price, the 9 Fastest Flight might fit the bill because she proved last year in races like the Honey Fox earlier in the 2023 Gulfstream Championship meet during the spring. She showed that she could step with these kind of horses, and I think that last race off the layoff is a little bit better than it looks on paper, and I think she'll be a lot fitter, and she also won't be pace compromised. Messidor is the number 10, another horse coming out of a synthetic race. It was a 2-turn race at Presque Isle Downs in the late October, and she finished ahead of a couple of next out winners on dirt. She's run well on synthetic in her career. She's run well on turf. I wonder where she is from a form standpoint right now, Messidor, because she has run some good races at 1 mile in the past. I just didn't love her last on the synthetic. Maybe you want to throw it out and concentrate on that race 2 starts back where she made a big mid-race move and was pretty game to win. She has a race or 2 that can do it for Christophe Clement. I think she could use a little bit of pace help in this race. Interesting field for the grade 3 Suwannee River. We'll take a look at my top selections in here, and I'm going to go with Saffron Moon. I just think a good trip is coming from the inside post for this Chad Brown trainee who ran into that runaway monster last time out. It just seems like this is a good fit. 1647 for me in the Suwannee River. It's one of 3 graded races at Gulfstream on Saturday. Good luck.